What's up? Happy Monday. Welcome into this edition of 3-Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew. Meghan, Triplett, John, and Roser here with you like always. And Roser, we got a lot to talk about. And let's start with the Memphis Grizzlies on Friday night. The Grizzlies lose in Game 6. It was a needed win, a must-win game. And the season is over. But, I mean, Roser, when you think about it, because now we're a couple days removed, and we don't have to talk about that specific game, Game 6, because we're a couple days removed. The players have already done their exit interviews. Coach Jenkins has already talked. Zach Kleiman's already talking about the offseason. And we're already talking about Summer League and who's playing, who's not playing. But overall, take me back. What's your stance on just like how this Grizzlies exceeded all expectations in this season?
I mean, look, they exceeded everybody's expectations, all around the league. They were projected before the season to be, around that 7, 8, 9, 10, in the play-in tournament again. And to be the 2 seed in the Western Conference, especially after you started, 9 and 10 and Ja got hurt. The season was incredible, full of memories. On that game, real quick, on the Game 6, I thought they played young. It's what happened to them in Game 4, and it happened to them again in Game 6. In Game 4, they led the whole way, and then they lost it at the very end because they started just playing one-on-one basketball and doing, then had some stupid turnovers late. And that's the sign of a young team that is still growing. And I think they did the same thing in Game 6. Like the last 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes of the game, it was just all one-on-one basketball. They stopped playing together, and I think it got a little too big for them. But they will learn from that, and they will be better for that going forward. I had tons of memories from this season, though. This is the most fun I had watching a basketball team play in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like all the players, all the coaches said that. To hear a lot of guys who've been in this league for a couple of years say that this was the most fun that they've ever had. Even Jenkins saying that he'll cherish this season. I had the same sentiment. It was so much fun, the ups and the downs, but the records that were broken from this group, how young they were, how lively they were, how they reached back into the community, into the city. Like I feel like they repped Memphis very well to get all these guys from like various places. You could not have picked a better group. And then also just like a more fun group where like you're just so electric out there. And I know that seeing what happened in Game 6, it wasn't their brain of basketball that we had seen throughout the season, and they did not want to get out rebounded or to have those costly turnovers. And that wasn't what they wanted, but we didn't have John Moran out there. And this is a team that's been said over and constantly. They've had each other's backs, just kind of like fell short. But you walk away from this. I walked away with this thinking like, man, I cannot wait, because you know that they're on the cusp of something so great. Like I feel it, you see it, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for what's coming up next, because it's one thing I do trust. I trust Jenkins, I trust Zach Kleiman, because if they've done this in the past 3 years and every single year, they've gotten like a step closer to getting that championship here in the city of Memphis. We just take even a bigger leap this year. And so I can't wait for next season.
No, I'm at 100%. The only, like you said, they are on the verge of something special. The only one thing that they are going to have to worry about, though, for years and years to come, is because there is another guy who also happens to play in their division, who probably is on the cusp of something special too. And you could see this guy winning a lot of things, getting a lot of awards, and that's Luka Doncic. He's unbelievable. The Game 7 yesterday, if I thought a road team was going to win, I thought it was going to be Milwaukee. Turns out they got blown out by Boston, and then Dallas just beating the crap out of Phoenix. I did not see that one coming.
I don't think anybody saw that coming. Like I picked Boston to beat Milwaukee. They're at home court. The Celtics would have gotten it together. We saw what happened in Game 6. I thought like Game 7 was going to carry over, and it did. Now, Game 7 of Dallas and Phoenix, like we talked about on Rise and Grind, I have no words, because at the end of the day, Dallas was just that better team. Phoenix could not get any stop. They could not knock down a shot. And for Dallas, it just went down from it started at Luka. But if you're going to have a guy named Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench, and Jason Kidd said they can go far, but they have to do it with everybody. It can't just be Luka. And I think that was the biggest key that circled. But you're talking about the Phoenix Suns, the number 1 team in the NBA. They've won the franchise record most wins in a season. I did not see them losing like they did, I don't know what happened, but it was just a cluster, and that was not the Phoenix Suns team that we had seen. But credit to Dallas for exposing it, and credit to them for winning like they did.
I wonder when the last time in the Western Conference, the top 2 seeds, neither one of them made the conference finals.
I don't know. They said on the show, the broadcast, the last team to not make it to their conference finals that was had a 60+ season was the Dallas Mavericks back in 06-07. So I mean, Dallas has been like, oh, well, rewriting the script there.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, I think the series, I think Dallas is going to beat Golden State.
I'm so how I can't say that because I'm so confused on what Dallas is. It's just like, it's so confusing, and it's a good confusion. It's like, I just don't know.
I am interested in how this could go if Dallas, especially like Dallas and then Boston, like if they end up in the finals, because they both can play slow down old school basketball and they're elite defensively. And I wonder, it's a copycat league, and if you could see more teams going to that. Now, also being a copycat league, you also then have to have Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic on your team. That also helps too, which they don't have. Are we doing predictions now?
Let's do it. Let's do it, because I'm intrigued. Because like I'm so confused on.
My pick. If you go to the odds couple, we did it on the odds couple.
Okay.
My pick at the beginning of the playoffs was the Celtics over the Suns in the finals. So the Suns obviously are not there now. Boston's still there. Boston is still my pick to win the championship. I'm going to stick with that. I picked them before the playoffs.
I'm just getting your pick for the conference finals. You're giving your pick for the whole entire thing.
Well, I'm just going to tell. I mean, like, I have to stick with the Celtics. I picked them to win the title, so I mean, of course, I've got them coming out of the East still. I'll say Dallas beats Golden State.
Ooh, see, I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to go with Golden State. Dallas is so confusing. They've been really up and down, and I know it's like really impressive for what they did against Phoenix after going down 0-2 to start the series. I think Golden State's defense is going to be too much, and I think Dallas' defense is not enough. I do think that we saw the Warriors can still win a game and have 20+ turnovers, but you're going to have to out rebound this team. You're going to have to not get them those second chance looks. And if Golden State can knock down a 3, I think it could be a 3-point contest, because Dallas has been surprisingly a great 3-point shooting team. So you know what? As I'm saying this, I'm like talking myself back out of it. I am just going to say, I think it's going to be a great series between Golden State and Dallas. I think that might go to game. I think that'll go to 7 games. It'll be a 7-game series. On the Eastern Conference side, I got Boston. I don't think Miami's defense is enough for Boston. I think if Boston can play their style of basketball, I think I want to see Boston just take it all the way. So yeah, I'm confused now that I see all the stuff out there, but I'm excited too at the same time. I'm just excited.
But don't sleep on Miami. Nobody's talking about Miami.
Look, I have slept. No, I will admit, I have slept on Miami. For some reason, I have not been all in on them. And I'm still like,
well, hey, look, the fans aren't either. Nobody's ever at their games. Like, I don't know if you see their games, but like even in the playoffs, like the first 10 rows are empty. It's like, except for like Rick Ross. It's like Rick Ross and Fat Joe. And then
DJ Khaled. Don't forget DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled, yeah. And DJ Khaled. Well, people at Miami Heat games.
Maybe we should go. We should get up. Look, we'll go and sit in those empty seats, Miami. We want to see what you guys can do.
Miami. I'll go to Miami with you.
Don't be James Harden in Miami like that. I need you to be like a Roser.
Oh God, I don't do anything. I'm a homebody.
All right, we'll work on that. I'll tell you next week if we got that trip to Miami coming up. Thanks for watching this edition of 3 Point Stance.